Ashley, woo, Basun.
Good morning, Scott. Oh, look at that energy.
Energy. I have more energy today than I've ever had.
Damn. Give me some.
Is whatever these were.
You have to love life.
Prime. We're doing.
Oh, did you prime today? I think we should do that every call, Carl. That can take up 15 minutes.
I agree.
Awesome. Looks like we got some new people coming on. That's great. I can see Lloyd. I see you finally. How you doing?
Pretty good. I just got through with an online Zoom Tai Chi session.
Oh.
Okay.
That was really good.
Awesome.
The Tai Chi is a martial art. Like if you speed it up.
It's more like an exercise, but it is a martial art, but it's meant primarily for exercise. And we also did something called Qigong.
Qigong, yeah.
I'm not into mixed martial arts yet, Corey.
Oh, well, yeah, the world's kind of stopped lately. There's not much going on. Although basketball.
I'm sorry, your picture froze.
Oh. Yeah, I might call on you a little later, Lloyd. See what you're up to. I want to hear.
Not much.
What's up, everybody? I see Alex Camacho on from LA.
What's up?
We got Nadal. Nadal, where are you in this world now? You're always like across the world.
I'm back in Abu Dhabi right now.
Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That video of you coming home to your kids was precious, by the way.
Yes, that was the video the video of the year. That was it.
I appreciate that. No, I was away for 6 weeks. Yeah.
You rent those children? They're too cute.
Yeah, no, they did that just for that minute, and then back to normal after that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's funny. I'm here, but I've spent most of the day on phone calls with different people in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, because I just bought a property there. And we just had a few issues with the transition because it's a short-term rental. So fun day.
Gotcha. So what is it like over there in Abu Dhabi? Is it for like lockdown and the virus and stuff?
Well, it's actually interesting. So you can't come to Abu Dhabi unless you're a citizen of Abu Dhabi or you have a residence visa. So as a tourist or as a guest, you can't. I have a residence visa, so I was able to come in. But so upon arrival, I arrived in Dubai. When you arrive at the airport, you have to take a COVID test. And then you go check into a hotel until your result comes out. After your result comes out, you can leave your hotel. And it's kind of interesting because it's the same country, but the two cities are different. So when you're in Dubai, after the results come out, and if you're negative, you're free to do whatever you want. But in Abu Dhabi, you have to actually go into quarantine, even though your result is negative. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of similar. I mean, Hawaii is like that too.
Correct. Yeah. Hawaii's like that. Yeah. So it's pretty protective. So yeah, so it's interesting. So we'll see. But I mean, life is almost back to normal, kinda. But I think it's just because no one's allowed to come in.
Right.
So it's just really hard to come in. Yeah.
Richard Baggio, happy birthday, boy! Almost. Well, past. You robbing a bank?
There's Ivory Kalber. Is that how you pronounce your name? Hi, Ivory.
Oh,
Ivory
Hi,
is
guys. Hey,
the number one real estate agent in the Big Island. We hooked her up last night. We hooked her up with some other borrowers already, Corey. It was quick.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Awesome.
Simple. She works with Ernesto a little bit also. So, great stuff. Gotta go.
Thanks, you guys.
Great.
Yeah.
You're working with Jim and Loretta. Is that right? Is Jim on the?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's Jim.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Loretta.
Hello.
Yep, we spoke
Hi, Ivy. Good
yesterday,
to
and
see
I'll
you.
be. You too.
When they speak, you'll know who it is. The best accents on the phone.
Okay. Josh, is more people coming in? Should we wait a little longer or?
I mean, we could start. We got about 40, I think now, so almost there.
Okay.
Gloria,
Well,
I want to start with one thing. I'd like to congratulate Tay on her deal.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So
It
Tay,
worked. You see?
congratulations.
Our vibes made you come through.
And Zasha. So they're doing the deal. Congratulations. Was that the first one, Tay?
Yes, the first wholesale, yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. That's so awesome to see it like happen, for people like on the call, especially you. You've been always coming on the calls, and last week we did the kind of deep dive with you.
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of aware already that you're going to be making the call to the seller to negotiate him down to where you needed to be, and he came down. So
Yep.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. All goes well.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
congrats again.
Thank you.
And, it makes me so happy to see that, with everybody on the call. Yeah, like that's the whole point of this is kind of like we started it just to kind of like we're a little bored, too. Is like during the whole lockdown thing, and so we kind of just want to gather together and talk story, really. But it's become a lot bigger and a lot more fulfilling, I think, than I thought. Right, because there's so many people here that I feel so close to that we haven't met face to face, but yet met over Zoom. So it's a whole new world, but we're embracing it, and I'm actually very grateful for it because I wouldn't have met a lot of you guys who come on our calls weekly. So thanks again, everybody, for taking the time on a Friday.
Because of Tay, Corey, how many people called me? They want to have that deep dive into there now because this way we can help them and they'll get their first deal.
Well, we do have one guy today who's very close to our hearts, Mr. Leffler over there.
A legend.
Are you on East Coast time now or back in Hawaii?
In Columbus, I'm at my brother's house now.
Columbus,
Then we're
Ohio?
Tennessee next week, and then I'll be back in Hawaii to bother Richie.
Thank God. Don't head down to Florida, please.
Yeah.
You want me to, or don't?
No, please. I'll pay you to stay away.
Okay. How much?
Oh, well, we'll be calling on you in a little while, bro. Oh, let's see.
Well, Brian and I had a call last week for like an hour and a half, and we just like chatted real estate and.
Yeah, I couldn't get Nadal to stop talking.
It was good. It's good. It was actually a lot of fun. Yeah. And I saw his mom and dad.
Oh yeah, meeting the fam already.
Yeah, he was at his mom and dad. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's what this is all about. Like we're getting together every Friday, forming just a tight group of investors, and we're all on our own journey, but we're running in the same direction side by side together, and that's what it's all about, is just connecting each other, right? If somebody needs help, and there's a lot of, again, I'll say there's a lot of resources and knowledge collectively on these calls. So I don't think there's any problem or any situation that we all can't solve together, right? Which is what gave me the idea for the deep dive segment, because I know that if we all focus on helping one person at a time in the group get to the next level, even if it's just one little nugget that they get, it goes a long way. So again, thank you guys. This has been more than I've ever expected to have everybody jump on and participate, so.
Are you still in leads, and good deeds?
We haven't even started yet.
Oh, okay.
But we can jump in since we're already 12 minutes past 10, but.
I have a great idea. Why don't we do the needs and greeds and, good deeds right now, all right?
Yeah, let's jump into that. So.
I like that idea.
Great idea, Scott.
Good idea.
Well, before we get there, I always want So Kekoa, again, is out whitewater rafting somewhere in, I think, Northern California. I don't even know where he is in this
He's
world.
in Maryland. He's in Maryland,
Somewhere in
actually.
America.
He's in
He'll be
Maryland.
back next week, and we'll be sure to give him a lot of hassle for missing the last 2 or 3 calls. We should all applaud that he's on. But he'll be back next week, and he does wish that he was on the calls, and we have some big things that we're lining up, so hopefully you guys can make it next week. Well, with that said, let's jump into our leads, needs, and good deeds section. Anybody got something they need?
I have one of my clients and friends, Roderick, on the call, and he's an electrician, and he's trying to get into the commercial space. So super, like, I've been doing real estate for 10 years, and I haven't been able to lock down like a super solid electrician and plumber that's just on it and super, super ethical and affordable and just fast. So when I got Roderick, I was so stoked, and he's an investor. So he's doing his first flip and 1031 exchange right now, so any commercial and residential, but I think he would like to do some big commercial ones. But he is doing his first 1031 exchange. So I am looking for a replacement property, preferably Wahiawa to North Shore. So for Jessica and anyone else who's trying to do wholesaling, if you guys have anything, Wahiawa to probably could go Kahuku as far as, let me know. Or Roderick now.
Perfect.
Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you, Ashley, for the amazing introduction. And Corey, I want to talk to you about hard money one of these days. So
yes, we can do that. Good to
I
see
gave
you.
him your number, Corey, so you got to pick up the phone because you said he won't tell me if you don't.
Hey, you don't gotta out me in front of everybody about my notorious unanswering of phone calls, but thank you.
Right.
Okay, so Roderick, commercial, and 1031. So, and congrats again for being an escrow man on your property. That's awesome. All right, who's here? Ivory says she's on Big Island where things are cheap. In the chat.
Yeah. If you need a property, she'll find it for you.
Let me try to call on somebody. John Kim over there in Washington. You need
What's going on,
anything?
man?
What you need? Everybody needs something.
I do. I'm looking for buyers for a property here in Washington. It's like an hour away from Seattle, in a small town. But if any of you guys are interested, I'll send over details. Seller needs someone to close ASAP.
What's the deal? What's the exit strategy?
Probably best for a business owner. It's a commercial property, so
like retail, shopping center.
Yeah, like retail, very light rehab needed, really good condition.
Is it a strip mall or something?
No. It's one of those live-in businesses. It was a doctor's practice before. It's got 2 bedrooms on the second floor, and then the office space is downstairs.
Okay, so it's somewhat of like a mixed use.
Yeah, like a mixed use. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Do you know the numbers off the top of your head? Like what are they asking? What do you think that it'll rent, or what if it's already being rented? What do you think it'll be rented for?
Yeah, it's vacant right now. I'm not sure on the rents, but I know the seller is asking $240,000, but that's negotiable. So if you're interested, I can put you in touch with the seller, and then she's ready to close.
Okay. Troy's asking what location.
Oh, okay, perfect. I will message Troy.
Okay. Awesome.
Do you have it under contract, John?
Yes.
Okay. I have a big time wholesaler in the state of Washington who I have his cash buyers list now of probably over 5,000 people. Okay. I don't know if you're interested in co-wholesaling it or what, if you'd be open to that with him.
Sure. Yeah,
so
for sure.
I can link you up with, his name's Alex. I tried to get him in this call before, and his partner is Victor. I don't know if you know either of them, but they're in the Seattle area.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have like a deal sheet or something, a summary to send out, we can help you find a buyer for that for sure. Because that's what, again, I got something I can say. I mentioned on the last couple of calls, but we are trying to help a lot of the wholesalers out there because we do have the ability to connect people, right? And that's what this call is all about. So we have no problems helping people wholesale their deals, and we don't have to, take a wholesale fee or co-wholesale fee. We'll do it because we'll hopefully be able to do like a loan or something, or service the end buyer in another way through our various companies that we have. So depending on what market it is, but so if you're a wholesaler, on the line, definitely contact us or reach out to me, Scott, Justin, or Tyler, and we can, get you set up, because there's a lot of capable investors, across the nation, a lot of them who are in our group and come weekly on these calls. So we can help you offload and sell some of these. Okay, who else is on the call?
Can I ask a question, or Ashley, maybe you could help answer this question. So I was working with, kind of Corey's hotel strategy, but I was working with a seller who had his property listed. It's still listed on the market. It's been off and on for 3 years, and I think it has some potential for hoteling, but he's kind of difficult to deal with. So I was also curious, if it's still listed on the market and we went the hoteling strategy, would he have to withdraw that listing? Or how does?
Yeah, his listing contract means that he's committed to paying commissions to the agency on the listing. So you can't cite, unless if there's special terms drafted into that listing agreement. It's unlikely, but worth checking into.
Okay, got it.
Otherwise, he'd have to withdraw it.
Okay, I'll talk to you after then. I think I could use your assistance.
For sure. Email me or call me after.
Perfect. Is that the Kapolei one? Jess?
No, that one. It's the Eva Beach one. The eight. Yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, it's the Eva Beach. He's using it as a duplex, 4-unit. Sorry, I guess like a duplex within his one really big house, but doesn't reflect that on the property tax record, so it's kind of complicated.
Got it. Okay. Who else is here?
Scott. I'm just gonna jump right on. I'm probably gonna be hopefully not the POF Zasha anymore, and for this deal, because I've only used conventional loans and just cash. So
I thought that was your initials.
What? Which one?
POF.
POF?
No, any time, whatever you need, I'm here for you. You know that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Okay. Karen from Maui, how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Where's Junior? Where's Justo?
He's working.
Okay. Well, Karen she did a deal. Actually, was it last year or was it this year? I know you guys recently refinanced. So.
Yeah, we did. We closed November last year, but we finished in February.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, can you watch the controls and mute? Well, it's good to see you on, Karen. Hopefully we'll see Justo on. You guys need anything? Are you guys looking at another deal at all, or?
Yeah, we're working on right now. We're negotiating back and forth. So I'm probably going to be contacting you for the deal, the numbers and everything.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
so hopefully it's a smoking deal like the last one, but yeah, we're working on it right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was stoked for you guys. That was a nice deal.
Yeah, it was. Hopefully this is similar. So we went to look at it twice already. So I'm pretty sure it'll go through pretty soon.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll call anytime.
Yeah, we'll do.
Regardless of what Ashley says, I do answer my phone, from time to time.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, I want to call on somebody new. I see Kelly over there. How's it, Kelly? I don't know if you can talk or not. Hey,
Yeah, well, hey, I'm at work, so I'm gonna try my best, to still chat and
I
pay
thought
attention
so.
and listen. Yeah,
Right
yeah.
on, man.
That's me working the 9 to 5 or the grind. So appreciate you. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too, man. Where are you? Hawaii?
Yeah, it's down in Oahu, right here in Kaneohe at King Windward Nissan, the Nissan dealership.
Nice. Okay.
Slanging some cars, but the cars will only give me $200 per commission. So I want to try and learn how to flip properties and make 20,000, a bigger ticket item.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to trying to learn and do this real estate thing. So I've never done it, but I'm open, I'm interested, I'm following. And I would have to sell like 5,000 cars to make $1 million. But I'm sure if you do wholesale or flip, it's probably maybe 10 properties or 15 properties to be able to hit that million. So yeah, it's a bigger ticket item. So excited to be here, for the first time and to learn. And I don't know, man. I know that this is the way to go, I guess. Yeah.
Oh man,
So
you're in the right
never done
place.
anything.
Yeah, you're in the right place. We'll get you there, but we're gonna get you some deals, man. We'll get you in there.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. Well, good to have you on, and thanks for jumping on and not, being shamed for turning the camera on.
No, that's me. I'm in sales already, so I'm
Right.
gung ho. Yeah, I'm gung ho.
Awesome.
I love helping. I love talking to people. So yeah, appreciate it.
Are you in the Facebook group? If you're not in the Facebook group, jump on. It's called Keiko Exchange. So if you have
Okay.
Facebook, yeah, because like we if you need something, post it in there, and we've actually. I've been super proud that everybody's been helping out and supporting each other. So
Yeah.
hopefully see you in there.
In fact, if I may share with you, because I was following you, talking to you, and then trying to gain information and knowledge, I recently invested or partnered with the New Wealth Advisory Club, someone that you're familiar with. And
Yes.
I'm taking their 3-day real estate courses on August 14th, 15th, 16th. I paid some money to get the training and partnering up with some people, but apparently they've used you and your company for money, for lending and flipping properties or wholesaling. So I don't know how I can get more help, but New Wealth Advisors Club, apparently you're very familiar with them.
Oh yeah, so New Wealth Advisors Club. I mean, they're very dear to my heart. And Melina and her family and Andrew. I think Andrew's on the call, and they're very dear to my heart because I started with New Wealth Advisors Club, so I see them as mentors myself. So, and their main base camp is in Riverside, California. Right, I was going to school out there at the time.
That's what they said.
I learned a lot from them.
John Slater mentioned you and Joel Bunkel. Yeah, John Slater.
Joel, Marianne. Yeah, they're all very dear to my heart, and I do owe them a lot. They've done a lot for me. And
okay, so I'm gonna go through the classes. This is my first step. I made the initiative. I took action. I invested money to take that 3-day course, and that's where I'm at right now. Is just I've never done a deal, and you know what I mean. I don't know what to do, but I'm looking forward to this training in August that they're doing the 3-day training, and
Well, I'll tell you, you're in good hands, man, because it's not just they're the right people to get you to the where you want to be, but they're just good, genuine people,
Okay.
And
Awesome.
I will be working closely with them too here in Hawaii. So, and Andrew, I don't know if you got. Oh, Andrew's not on anymore. I don't think.
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Andrew.
Hey, sorry, I just walked in the door, so I just jumped on and turned my video on. I'm sorry about being late.
You in the? Did you go gym?
Well, yeah, I did. I had to run to Wahiwa real quick to go get some paperwork for our lawyer on one of the subject 2s that we're in over there on a little condo. So I got that
Nice.
to him. I just walked back in the door. So
It's funny. Andrew and I live in the same building. Maybe you can tell by the backgrounds.
yeah, we're kind of similar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Andrew, for jumping on, man. And again, yeah, Kelly, you're in good hands, bro. You're in good hands. We'll be working together very soon, I'm sure. All right.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. Please help me. I'm all ears. I don't know what to do, but I know this is the way out, and I know that this is a great vehicle and opportunity. So I'm super excited to lock arms and just help me, please.
Yeah. I mean, we're here for you. Got your back, bro. And Andrew and Melina, David and Oscar and John, all those guys, and Marianne and Joel, like with New Wealth Advisors Club, they've changed many lives, and I can say that, you know, mine included, you know. So in fact, I was talking to Andrew earlier, and we're gonna hopefully get them on to speak one day because they have a lot to share, you know, probably multiple times. We can have them on to help, you know, help with anything that we have over here, because they have a lot of resources as well. So together, that's what I'm saying, is I don't think there's a problem or a deal that we can't, you know, solve all collectively together. So all right, let's move on. Today, I just want to start again. We're going to try to keep this segment in there as long as we can, but as long as people, you know, are volunteering. And thank you, Brian, for volunteering last minute. I don't know if you're voluntold by Scott or not, but either way, thank you. We're going to be going into our deep dive with Brian, and we'll try to keep it a little short. We'll keep it to like 3 or 4 main questions, but the idea behind this segment is that we all collectively focus on Brian and seeing what, you know, what issues that he has, or what is he focusing on in his career in real estate, and what type of resources he needs, if any, and any roadblocks to jump over, that we can all kind of huddle together and help him out, you know. And this will be hopefully a segment that we can keep rolling, that people enjoy and get value from, because a lot of us may be having the same kind of hurdles or need the same resources. So, you know, as we're helping Brian, we're also speaking, you know, to the group. So, and Brian's an investor, active. He's done many deals already himself, and he has experience across the board, actually, and he's a serial entrepreneur, kind of just like myself. And so Brian and I, it's dangerous when we get on the phone because we can talk for hours. So Brian, why don't you unmute, bro? Say hi. Hey, Brian's been on every week, so everybody knows Brian.
I was just letting you talk because I'll interrupt you. You know me, you just put 1 quarter in me and I'll talk for a couple hours. So you're going to have to cut me off. Somebody's going to have to pull the mic out of my hands.
Okay, we'll do, bro. Well, okay, let's dive into it. What are you focusing on mainly right now?
So I made a big pivot. I got a condo that I'm working on with Richie, but COVID hit and I made a massive pivot in my business, which has been quite the roller coaster, but an awesome learning experience. I brought my little brother in and we're flipping vacant land across the country. I was just talking to somebody this morning about it, and a big time investor here in Columbus. And, you know, you could kind of see it clicking for him, but we take the same approach a wholesaler takes for homes, but we take it to vacant land, and you'd be amazed at, if you find the right pockets, what kind of demand is out there as well. So we made that massive kind of pivot to help him get that going. I was able to sucker my mom in to help us do direct mailings too, which has been cool, to give her a part-time job because she was looking to go get something. So I'm slowly roping the whole family into my charades, whether that, you know, hopefully that works out in my favor, but that's going well. If I was going to say I had one weak point, it's definitely finding deals that pencil on Oahu. You know, when you find them, they're great, but they're few and far between. I'm sure a lot of people, I see a lot of heads nodding and already, Roderick, one of them, but yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. My fiance, Amanda, just got her real estate license. So having her as an asset on the team to go back into the MLS and, you know, hopefully start increasing our offers again. That's how I found a couple deals so far. And it's kind of what I'm going to stick to because it's all I really know. And I still do driving for dollars, but those just take time. That you got to marinate those leads. That nobody just says, yeah, I'm ready to sell for $400,000 under ARV. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons why they wouldn't be interested in doing that, but yeah.
Got it.
I won't even get into, you know, company stuff. Scott told me I wasn't allowed to talk about any of my other serial entrepreneur activities.
Yeah. Maybe if we got time later after.
Yeah.
But so on Oahu, are you mainly focusing on? Would you be mainly focusing on fix and flip? Or
yes, sir. Yeah, that's all I want to do. I'm in a position where I'm straight cash grab. So most of you probably have heard my funny story about building up a big portfolio, losing it. I won't go too deep into this, but I built it wrong the first time. So this time around, I am literally just doing a capital grab. So anything I can do to kind of build up my war chest to be able to disperse later. But I want to have that thing built up to a pretty penny before I really do any holds. So yeah.
Yeah, and actually, one day, you should tell that story if you're comfortable, because Brian's been to hell and back in this industry, and I honestly, that's why I have the most, respect. I have a lot of respect for him, because a lot of people, if they take a major hit, it's hard to come back. And here he is, and still doing deals and making his way back, and that takes something. It takes a lot of courage and determination and relentlessness that I admire and respect of you, bro.
Well, they were self-inflicted wounds, so I kind of had to, right?
Right, yeah. But you're here, and Brian wholesaled a deal. I don't know if it was last year to Richie guys, right?
Yeah.
So you're definitely still finding them, but so more importantly, you're looking for deal flow on Oahu.
Yeah, that would be easily my glaring biggest weakness. But like I said, learning how to direct mail, set up process flows, systems on the vacant land side will allow us to put stuff back into Oahu. But I don't really care, now that I have the vacant land thing, I don't really care to get that big on Oahu, to be honest with you. I'm cool. I would, if I did 4 to 6 a year and steadily a year on Oahu, I'd be very happy on that. And then I would be growing the vacant land thing, because I think I can truly automate the vacant land thing more so than a process of finding deals. I mean, I really think it takes a lot of work. So anybody that's doing more than 3 or 4 deals in Hawaii a year is putting in a lot of work to be able to get those things inked and then through the process. It's not like the mainland where you can just go shopping. It's like some places like here in Columbus, man, I feel like you can go down a street and it's like you're going down a grocery store aisle, and you can just say, okay, I want that one, and that one, and it'll pencil and you can make it work. It's just not like that in Hawaii.
Wait, I'm gonna go buy some stuff for the house and drop it off today.
So when are you
the outside sink, by the washer and dryer.
Brian, where are you wholesaling the land?
Well, we failed miserably. We went into Boise, Idaho area because I kind of wanted to pseudo flip there too, and learned a lot of painful, expensive lessons. So went there first, failed, wasn't as easy as I thought. Then we struck gold in Larimer County, which is just north of Denver, basically Fort Collins, and we found a couple pockets there. And then now we're starting to market towards southern Colorado, down by Colorado Springs. So you kind of stay away. What our game plan is to stay away from the big metros. So we don't, the proof of concept in this model is that there's a lot less friction, right? You're not crawling over other investors. You're most likely the first person to approach somebody in a long time about buying somebody's property, and their pain points could be liens, HOAs that they don't want to pay, property taxes that they don't want to pay. They could have inherited it, so it wasn't their dream. Maybe it was the parents' dream to build on it, and it just got handed down. Oddly enough, this is wild. My mother got a call from my uncle this week saying that they inherited 700 acres in Texas. Granted, it's in the middle of nowhere and probably worth like $100 an acre, but still, like it was wild that had happened to my mother just now, and it was her great grandmother's ex-husband had bought it and nobody knew about it, and they traced it to them, and it was an investor like us that it was basically trying to get to them, that let them know that they were the rightful heirs.
Wow. Okay. So
a lot of that stuff out there, and you can go pay, a couple grand for something like that if somebody just wants to get rid of it, cash in, and then we know how to market it better and sell it for 20, 30, 40 grand. Just depends.
So what makes you choose the different markets? Because you're looking at Boise and then now in Colorado to wholesale land, correct?
Correct.
You have buyers lined up up for land in Colorado, or?
No, so we are using, so we'll actually, once we sell a piece of land, keep our listing up to create a bigger buyer's list in that area behind us. But we have no buyers. So we'll go on Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, anywhere you can advertise a piece of property, and they sell. But to answer your question, how do I pick a place? That was the trick, right? That was kind of the hardest part, and will continue to be the hardest part as we expand, is finding a county where we can get activity and where we can find spreads. Like I said, we went into Ada County and 7 other counties around Idaho, and we spent $7 grand on mail and came up empty-handed. Now, luckily, we put a bunch of money into Larimer County and some other counties in Colorado, and we'll come out, well over 30 grand in profit so far just from a couple grand of mailings. And then we still have deal flow coming from those mailings. And then we're constantly dripping out more mail.
Gotcha. Okay, so with Idaho, was the problem because there just was no response to the?
That was one of them. And then Public Record Disclosure Act, something or other. They basically, you can't get to public records like you can in a lot of other counties, states. It's an Idaho-wide thing. There's a couple states that are like that are basically protect a lot of their information. So.
Yeah, I know Andrew used to work in Idaho, so I don't know if.
Yeah, I lived there for about 5 years, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Idaho's a lot like Hawaii in that they protect their locals. Very,
Yes.
very protective of their locals. You can't, if you're not from in that state, if you don't.
Where
live
were
there,
you 6
can't-
months ago? Why didn't you tell me this 6 months ago? You could have saved me $7 grand, man.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's funny. One of my students actually was looking at some stuff in Idaho too. It's
What was your advice to them about it? I'm sure there's a right. I'm the kind of person though. I'm not giving up on Idaho. It's just if there's a will, there's a way. But
It's a
we're
great
trying to
rental
find
market.
less friction.
It's a great rental market if you know people there. That's the thing, is I lived there for 5 years, and I also
Yeah.
worked construction while I was there. So I have friends that I really, really trust. So I own rentals in Idaho, in southeastern Idaho.
Okay.
All about the area. I mean, it really just depends. Up in Ada County and Boise area, it's a little bit tougher because it's actually starting to turn into a lot like Southern California up there.
Yep, that's what I heard. And that was part of my draw to that area, was knowing or noticing that there was a huge influx of people. So you just, they said there was something like 300 people moving there a day.
Yeah, but they don't like it, is the problem.
Sure. Well, it's unfortunately, it is what it is for that area, right? They can't stop it.
Nope. And but yeah, it's a great rental market. I flip all over Southern California. I haven't done a single. Actually, I'm just looking at doing my first flip in Idaho, but it's only because it's a property from one of my best friends who I'm gonna buy at a massive discount.
Got it.
But other than that, Idaho is not. I wouldn't really look at it for development, and I wouldn't look at it for flipping. It's a great rental market all over the state. But unless you have an inn somewhere, renting or developing is very, very tough, because it's even though it's growing, it's such a small community. So they work with the same companies, the same people that they know and can trust all the time.
It's the good old boys club.
Yep. I learned that the hard way, the expensive way, unfortunately. So, nothing about what we're doing is easy. It's just, you kind of have to test markets. So now we learn to send less mail when we're testing a market to see a response before we plow 12,000 letters out the door at 57.5 cents a letter.
Well, I mean, that's a good lesson, because I think there's no other way you would have learned that lesson, because you did everything you should have done. You looked at a market that seems to be appreciating, because there's a large exodus from Southern California and Washington to, Idaho. But how are you supposed to know that it's the good old boys club, and
apparently if I would have talked to Andrew and somehow, connected with him beforehand, he could have saved me.
Yeah, I learned how it is there in a painful way too. I mean, not quite as expensive as yours, but I learned it in a painful way as well, because it was not, I didn't receive the welcome that I did in Hawaii when I moved to Idaho. We'll just say that. So
all right.
You're not the only one, man, especially when they know that I come from California. They're like, so.
Yeah.
If I can jump in a bit, the question about Idaho is, it's like the new Silicon Valley, and to move in now, you're probably 10 to 15 years behind the curve. I spent 25 years in San Jose, and it was like Boise was the new Silicon Valley. People could purely simply because of the house prices. So you're absolutely right. So what you've got is you've got a small country attitude with all of a sudden this massive influx, and how they're going to build the infrastructure. So it's a bit like we're experiencing here in rural Hawaii. You know, keep Kahala Kahala. They like the idea of expansion and money, but they don't want to change a single thing. So what I would recommend, and we do it to some degree, is do you use the US Census information?
To track what? This the data of who's moving around where?
Population growth. So if
Sure.
you're looking at something like, say, Sioux Falls, target a city that's, say, less than 100,000 people, or say less than 250,000, and see what is the percentage growth? What is the estimation of population growth, say, within the next 5 years? All that is on the US Census information.
Yeah.
And there's loads of little pockets around there. I love Sioux Falls. I like Jacksonville, although it's big. Huntsville, Alabama is great. There's still some pockets around the Sun Belt that's really, really nice. And if it might behove you, because Boise is spent as far as outsiders moving in, but something like Sioux Falls might be right up your alley. But the US Census Bureau, if you're willing to dive into it and pick your way through it, it can be a source of really good information.
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about it on this call, but there were other layers of complexity of why I was choosing these bigger markets, because we have bigger business plays that are outside of real estate. I won't talk about my Tesla dream, but one day you're going to see us as one of the biggest robo-taxi operators there is in the land. But yes, I like the markets you said, and I agree with you. However, we chose some of the bigger stuff that is a little more well-established for other reasons that, like I said, there's some layers to it other than just trying to find an emerging market and get in on ground floor. But yeah,
that's a good tip. Whenever, if somebody's looking to go into a new market, especially if it's not one that you reside in, like where do you start, right? Like what market is best? And you want to always try your best to catch a market that's emerging. And you know, on paper it looked like, you know, in Idaho that was it. And like Jim said, like checking the US Census, and also like whenever, I think I've told this before on the show, but when Kiko and I were looking at this country club out in Coachella in Southern California, you know, we know nothing about the market. It was in the middle of summer, so the town is like a ghost town in the summer because it's opposite. You know, like usually markets in the winter, there's snowbirds, right? They come down to Hawaii and different areas to vacation for like a few months while like the weather is just unbearably cold. In Coachella and Palm Springs area, it's the opposite. It's like the summer is their slow season, and that's when everybody leaves because it's the heat is unbearable. And we went out there, and immediately I had a sense like, oh, this isn't a good play because there's no one here, right? But when we went down to the Department of Planning and Permitting to talk to them to see how feasible the plan was that we had for this country club, on the counter was like a stack of permits that were approved for us. Like it was like either 7 to 10 Starbucks coming to town, right? So that kind of gave us a little bit of hope, at least, or indication that, you know, perhaps there's infrastructure being invested in this city, that we are in the right place, right? So anywhere that you see there's big box stores like Home Depot and Lowe's, you know, it's probably a good area. It doesn't mean it's a good time. You know, you gotta check the timing on the market. But if you're near a big box store, I mean, they spend millions of dollars and spend a lot of time in market analysis before they plop a Home Depot there, you know, so you can ride off of their market research and their market data, and you'll know that you're in the right spot because this invested so much money to research. But the only thing you have to work on is it the right time, because maybe you're at the top, you know, you're coming in at the top of the market and it's already kind of at a bubble in that area, and it might come down. So that was a great tip with the US Census, checking that.
Top Golf did that with IKEA too. If you notice, Top Golf goes by, mainly will park next to an IKEA and ride out their market research.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean,
Very smart.
Very smart. Right. So keep that in mind if you guys are looking or looking for other markets to invest in. Try to catch it, in an emerging market, and make sure that there's infrastructure there, like there's demand, right, for whatever play you're going for, whatever exit strategy that you have. So, Bryan, what resources would you say you need right now?
Capital.
Capital?
Yep,
So
that's it. So I'm starting to, I have learned, so I'm getting better at deal flow, and I've learned it's almost just as important to continually working my private money lending relationships as it is to finding the deals. That was my biggest weakness in my prior attempt at this. And now I'm slowly getting some traction, but it always be working with people and talking to them about what you do, telling them how you use other people's money to, fund your deals and grow your business. And it's a mutually beneficial relationship, yada, yada, yada. But you don't ever want to come across desperate either, though. Cause you don't need them, even though we know we need them. It's a tough conversation to have for me to kind of learn to ask for people's money in a non-handout way, if that makes sense. So it's been a learning experience for me trying to raise money, and by far my biggest weakness.
Yeah, and I gave a presentation a couple weeks ago. I think the biggest thing for that is making sure that obviously you're not selling somebody on it, right? Because you're
right.
First of all, knowing and having confidence that you do have a great product to offer in a sense of a high rate of return to your private lender with security, with some sort of collateral, right? A security position in the property where that's not easily found to go. I mean, in our world, it's like, it's common. So lenders in our space have the ability to pick and choose which deals they want to go into. But for the average day investor who's not aware about this, really it's about educating them, right? And not selling them on it, but educating them on it. And just having the confidence that we do have a very good product to offer these private lenders, these potential private lenders, because it actually isn't easy to find. It isn't easy to find a group of investors like all of us here on the call that are trustworthy, get into good deals, they do business with integrity, I would say like exactly what you said. It's like the hardest part is, even if you're raising capital and you need the money, the hardest part is sticking to yourself and knowing that, it's okay because you don't want to take someone's money who's like on the fence anyways. If they don't get it, they're not ready, and if you take their money and they're just going by a handshake honor system, they're going to be a huge headache for you and cost you in the sense of your time, and cause a lot of anxiety because they're worried. They're going to pass their worry to you and their mistrust. And to me, that's not worth, any.
Well, I don't worry about anything. So it takes a lot to get me to be worried, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So
it's so true.
Oh, Scott, you're done flexing the Mercedes logo over there, huh?
You know what? You're my idol. Bryan, seriously, I want everyone to know the story about when you finally came into money. I swear to God, I think it's the greatest story. What you did with your money after all the years of suffering. Seriously, tell them.
I can't understand what you're saying. Something
What you were saying about when you came into money.
I'm here to translate. No.
Yeah, Justin, what is your father saying?
When you came into money, remember when you came into money, Bryan, your first deal after working so hard that you took 10% of it?
Yeah. Well, So one thing that changed my life personally, and this is just me, is I started reading. And I wanted to make it a big initiative of mine is to, what'd you say, Ashley?
You just started reading now?
Yeah.
I know, I was like, what's that?
It's good for you. It's really good for you. If you don't like reading, listen. And actually, they say listening retention is greater than reading. But my ADD would not allow me to read. My ego didn't allow me to read. But the last 2 years has been absolutely life-changing. But to Scott's point, they say if you don't give now, you're not going to give later. And I didn't, again, I'll keep referring to like my old self. I didn't give before. And I told myself that I was doing all this to give away eventually, but I wasn't practicing what was one of the things that was driving me. So one of my initiatives is to give away 10% of our profits, as deals come in. So yeah, I think that's all that I got for what Scott's alluding to.
No, yeah, totally. And that is,
but it just goes back to the, if I want to do it now, like, and just, that's a tax on myself, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I commend you for that, Bryan, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so
it just
on
shows
that point, if anybody has any good causes or good families of, where some funds may need to go out, please send them my way. I'd be happy to look into funding them or, making a donation to individual. I prefer to have a larger impact with the little dollars that I am donating rather than go to the Red Cross where 20 cents make it to the end of or the United Way, where that's just my personal opinion.
Right. Well, yeah, it does speak a lot to your character, Bryan. And that's why it's awesome to see you're riding your career, right? And because that's what it really is about, giving, first giving value, and whether it's monetary value or in a sense of just support of somebody, it really sparks magic in business. And I believe in that. I don't feel that it's, any type of hocus pocus thing. There really is something about that. It starts some sort of manifestation with good people around you. And then with good people around you comes resources and deals, which is what we're doing here. So
very true.
Yeah. So Bryan needs deal flow on Oahu and money.
I wouldn't say I need either of those. I'm perfectly capable of doing it. But yeah, if anybody's got a magic system that they feel like they're catching traction with on Oahu to get off-market deals, I'm all ears. I know obviously we talk about it frequently on this call. I know how to pull the Richie method and throw out, well, what I thought was good was 5 offers a day, but on the MLS and just see what sticks and go that route. I want to have multiple marketing channels. If you'll call MLS offer writing one, I'd like to get some opportunities for off market. I mean, we got the condo from Hubzu is another good one. Don't everybody go to Hubzu and start bidding on properties now, but
everybody go outbid Bryan.
Yeah, it's not a secret. Hey, if Corey's taught me one thing, it's a straight abundance mentality. So I'm an open book. I think Alex Camacho actually wrote a good post on this yesterday. I don't even know if he's on anymore, about how even if there's a big dog on the island, like we've had previously people that, there's typically a number one guy that's doing the most volume. They can't buy everything. There's always going to be stuff that falls through the cracks, and there's no secret sauce to doing this. It's just doing it consistently and staying focused.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I know Richie got money. Well,
yeah, I know too.
Sorry, Richie, I out you in front of everybody. You need money, go call Richie. How much you offering to the lenders? Like 20% or?
Yeah, well, no joke. Our newest deal is we're literally offering a 20% preferred return because the cash flow is that stupid. So it kind of goes back to and Scott will out me to everybody, or I'll out myself to everybody. My credit score right now is 461 because of all the things that I did to myself previously. Scott repeatedly reminds me of how terrible my credit profile is, which means that I have to partner with and align myself with people who are in a better position than me, which it is what it is. But this new business opportunity that we're looking into, when I partner with somebody, will still allow us to basically offer a killer return. But I see that as like a stepping stone to basically create that track record of success where they will then look at what I'm doing rather than looking at what I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Scott?
Absolutely. And I don't remind you your credit score. You come to me for loans, and it's a little difficult at times. But I love you, and I always hook you up with the right people, though.
You do.
All right. Well, I'm so happy you were on this call, Bryan. Seriously.
Yes. Thanks for volunteering me last night.
Thanks for last minute obligation.
I'd do anything for you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully if anybody here after listening in can, kind of reach out to Bryan. And Bryan, if you can drop your contact info in the chat or something.
Yeah, I guess on that too, I always try and pay it forward. Corey, the same soft spot that Corey has in his heart for the crew at New Wealth Advisors, I have the same soft spot for Corey in my heart. Even though I had to pester him for about 3 months before he finally answered my LinkedIn message and gave me his number, he gave me, I'll never forget the night that I first talked to him. I was driving home from Waikiki and I didn't go through the Like tunnel because I didn't want to get disconnected from him. So I sat parked in Kalihi for 3 hours as this dude shared, his story, what he's doing, who he's doing it with, and we connected, and he got the ball rolling for me. Obviously, he'll never take credit for it because he's too humble, but yeah.
Thank you.
I love this man.
Yeah, thank you, brother. The first conversation I ever had with Bryan, it was like 3 hours. And,
that's why he ignores all my calls now, so he doesn't get stuck in a 3-hour conversation again. No, but what I was getting at is if anybody needs help, I know I talk to a lot of people on this call individually. I am happy to help somebody who's willing to help themselves. So if you go out and say, hey, I've been trying to do X, Y, and Z, and I know you've done this in the past, I have no problem filling in holes, but I certainly don't want to be the person that's going to hold your hand and walk you through it, because there's so many resources out there to educate yourself. But if I see you're, doing something with a system like batch leads, or you've implemented something and you just need a few questions answered about, maybe a roadblock or two that you have, I'd be very happy to kick the can around. Helps me learn too, right? What do they say? See one, do one, teach one. So is a great way to become an expert.
Absolutely, man. Amen to
Yeah,
that.
everybody just keep in touch with Bryan. Sorry, I'm wearing my mask. I'm at the freaking waiting room. My car's being serviced. But everyone keep in touch with Bryan. He's got great ideas, and I don't know, I like working with that guy. He's a haole on the island, but my favorite haole. So
I'll take it.
Yeah, keep in touch with Bryan.
I got Richie a birthday present. Richie, when it comes in, you gotta wear them. You show everybody.
I appreciate the love, Richie. I'll shut up and you can take the mic away from me now.
No, can't wait till you get back, man. We got shit to do.
Yes, sir. I gotta get us another deal.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do it.
Slacking, bro.
I know.
Somebody's gotta get Bryan. All these. I know there's a lot of wholesalers on the call too. So even the wholesalers, even Nadal from across the world can wholesale you one here in Hawaii. But I can't believe it's already 11. So thanks again, Bryan, for
you're very welcome.
And jumping in. Next week, guys, we might have Brandon Turner, and possibly Ryan Murdoch. I gotta follow up with them to make sure that they're still good to go. I know Ryan's been traveling, so he's quarantined now, so there's nowhere to run now. We're gonna find him. And him and Brandon hopefully can be on the line. Kiko will be back. I'll be on the call. I might be traveling though. I'm gonna be on my way to Maui with Ashley. It's her birthday, so we're gonna take a little vacation. But we'll still be on the call. And but Kiko and hopefully Brandon, if he's available, will be on with us and talking about his mobile home parks. So hopefully that works out. And then I also spoke with Andrew and hopefully get his mom, Melina, and their leadership team to come in and talk a little bit about what they got going on, because there's a lot to learn. And I get like chicken skin, when I think about it sometimes, because just kind of connecting with them and thinking about how much has changed in my journey from when I started under their teachings in California. It's just unbelievable, and they're just great people. So we're building something very special here, guys, and so proud to be able to celebrate wins like Tay this past week and Zasha. And I want to see that more and more, because we have a lot of people here with huge potential that we can all do deals together. That's the whole point. Let's do deals together and chase, ride this journey as long as we can, till freedom. But thanks again, guys, for jumping on. And I guess I'll cut it. We always hang out. So if you guys want to hang out for a little while,